The purpose of The Bride of Frankenstein is to show what it is to be the monster. In this movie, in this depiction of Frankenstein by Karloff, the creature is not someone to be shunned by the audience. We are meant to sympathize with him, to see the struggles that he goes through because he is othered from society for no reason. The film puts us, the audience, into the perspective of a marginalized experience and has us go through the world with the creature, seeing, embodying, and understanding his struggle. The Bride of Frankenstein is a horror film. I would consider Frankenstein's monster to be a monster in this film, even though he's not considered monstrous in the typical sense. He is still othered from society, which is the mark of a monster. I'd argue, however, that there's another monster in the film, Dr. Frankenstein's scientist friend, who pushes the limits of creation seemingly for his own amusement. Aside from monsters, this movie plays on stereotypical horror iconography. There's a castle, an old laboratory, scientists, research, discovery that is frightening and new. This film has a very obvious reason for being a queer film, but first I'd like to discuss a theory of mine. Dr. Frankenstein's seemingly unnatural desire to bring life into the world could mirror a trans-feminine desire for pregnancy. Frankenstein is not the subject of this movie, and I don't think it's particularly evident in the film that that's something they're trying to convey, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Of course, the most obvious queer figure in the movie is the monster. The creature is rejected from society and just wants companionship above all else. He eventually finds some with an old blind man. The two live peacefully together for a time. This is reminiscent of queer found family. Many queer people are rejected by family and friends, and they have to form their own set of connections. Mental health of members of the queer community is also impacted greatly by their queerness, and the ending of the film can be read as a suicide by the creature, who says that he deserves to die. Something that we've discussed in class that this movie relates to is the uncanny. Usually, we would expect to find ourselves in the hero of the story, but in The Bride of Frankenstein, we see humanity in the monster. This is unusual and disconcerting at times. What I love about this film is that the queer-coded character feels like the hero. Even if it cannot be explicitly said, I feel that most people watching this film are going to love the monster more than any of the humans. Seeing as the creature is so representative of the queer experience, I personally found the movie very touching. I even cried a bit at the end. The monster really reflects humanity back to the viewer in a way that is deeply touching.